What's up, summoners? King Blair here. Today we're gonna be taking a look at Dragon Breed 11. So something that I'm ashamed of as a late game player is that I still don't have a consistent auto team, which is a huge problem for me because this is where some of the best equipment is in the game with the speed equipment, and that hurts a lot, and that hurts me as a player, and it's something that I personally need to fix, and that's why this equipment changing, I decided to make a quick guide into it because I've gotten to struggle so much and I've had to do so much research on it and like units and things like that to try to be able to clear it, and like requirements for what I'm doing right now, which is a very aggressive Dragons Beat 11 team, which is like, it has its merits, but one of the biggest things that is bad is that I can't auto it as consistently as just having like a safer team. So we're going to be discussing what the difference between these two are and how you like what the requirements are. So y'all will see my Angelica and y'all will be like, how's your Angelica dying? Like after I show y'all the runes and it's like, okay, I kind of get it, but that's still insane that you have to have such good things for your Angelica to not die. So I'm going to keep autoing. Hopefully we don't fail this, but it really just depends on, like, it's a race against time. How many times the dragon crits has a lot to do with it. One of the biggest reasons why I don't have the consistency is, one, right now my Sass just doesn't do the damage I need him to do, and he's not like he's not strong enough, and I don't want to give him all the OP equipment because there's still other aspects of the games that I want to play and I want to play with, but I can't do that until this is like set. So I might have to give him the good equips and then I'll be able to clear better. But right now he's my weak link, and also my Angelica not being awakened. So right here we never get the defense break, but Karen does because I did put some accuracy on her. And y'all will see my Karen, she's pretty nutty. But see, 17,000, like, you think like, bro, why are you complaining about that? That's pretty good, right? Nah, like, I really wish she did more damage. The other thing is my Luna also doesn't have enough Molagora, which is also a problem because it means that she doesn't have as much damage as I need her to have. So right here, as you can see, this aggressive team comp, it's like, it's very like, okay, a race against time. And sometimes I do have to help it out a little bit by just throwing in a random Arcane there, but it is what it is, man. I might throw in the random Arcane somewhere in there, because it's so annoying that it's so tight. It's not the shield that matters, it's that my Sass doesn't do enough damage, because ideally I would have already killed the dragon, or gotten close to killing the dragon. So it is what it is. I probably will just end up giving my Sass better stuff. So this is actually a really good spot to end in. Oh yes, I love Rihanna and Lucio. God, that artifact is busted on her. She's the MVP right now. Karen, she's the only reason why I even get like close. Like, so y'all saw she just took 4 turns, like free. So now we're gonna be able to clear it. So this is a very aggressive team comp, and it's very scary because it's not 100%, but it will do it most of the times. And we're gonna talk about those requirements, why I'm not able to clear it 100% yet, and what you need to have to be able to do it. And we got a pretty good equip. So this is why you need to do B11, guys. Actually, it's kind of trash, but at least, it's a level 85. So let's just talk about the team comp. Now that y'all saw how my team, the aggressive comp, works. So the aggressive comps are really fast. So that only took like 3 minutes, which is pretty good, but they're not consistent. And that's my problem right now. To make this work, I have to give them top of the line equipment, which they already do have, but I have a little bit even better equipment. It's just not quite there yet, and especially like with some awakening here and there. But the benefit is you're going to be farming this super fast, just burning through energy. So that's why I personally went for this team. I'd rather have speed than consistency. Some people are going to want to have consistency more than speed. So the big thing why I'm failing is I don't have a secondary healer. So why that matters is because without a secondary healer, my Angelica is dying too early. Like, as y'all saw, she can almost make it all the way to the point where he does his barrier thing, and then she actually would survive at that point. But she's just not quite there yet. And even though she has some of the best equipment I have for healers. But, it is what it is. One of the biggest weak links that I mentioned is my Sass, because he's just not pulling through as a damage dealer. What would make me this be like 100% probably for me would be if I took off Sass and I put in a water healer. So having your team all water is not a requirement, but it really does help. I wish I had the water Aether. I haven't pulled one in a while, but this would make it like probably 100%. You know, like either having a secondary healer for my Angelica, for the people that already have Angelica built, already have her thank key. Okay, pretend that this Aether, Guider Aether is regular Aether. So now, you saw how much damage my Karen was doing. I wasn't struggling against the Dragon's Shield. Like, that was not the issue. The issue was my Angelica was dying too quick. So I could put an Aether here, and my frontliner would survive. Like the water Aether. And that's great. That's one of the things that you must, like, another choice is this is the more consistent, more safe option is to do this. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with building water Aether. I can't believe I'm saying that because I hate him so much. But there's nothing wrong with building water Aether because he does a really good job. The other option you have, if you're like me and you hate Guider Aether and you don't mind leaving your phone running for like 8 minutes per run, like that's fine with you, or like even 5 minutes. You just want to be able to get it 100% every time. Then your other option is to put your healer. So if you have Angelica, you can put her in the back and make her, because then she'll be able to heal more because she's not getting her attack bar pushed back. And then put a water tank. So there's two really good units for this slot. One is Cross It, which is actually a free-to-play unit. And you can actually give them the artifact that you get from the event right now. If y'all can get that artifact, that's really good for this, because they take so little damage from the dragon. And then it's literally just a matter of like waiting. So even if you have Bask, you know, like if you were around and you got that free unit, even then, you know, free. This is super free because all you need to do is you have him, give him the artifact that lowers the damage that he takes, and then Angelica will just heal him every time she takes a turn. And then it's like easy mode. You just have to have one defense breaker slash damage dealer, and then one primary DPS, which for me it's my Luna. Oh, and that's what you need to have. But you must have a healer. This is like 100%. Even if you're tanking with your Angelica, that's fine. You have a healer, you can do that. Having a secondary healer, it's fine. Having a water tank is the most important. Those two things: water tank, healer, and defense break. That's the key. If I had to like summarize this whole video into one sentence, is big damage, big tank, big heal. That's it. That's all you need to know. And anything that gets you to that point is good. If you have other units that are not water that you're going to put here, it has to be something that either is like a good damage dealer, like a really good damage dealer, that it's worth you being able to give him an extra 15%, or something like an insane DPS. So like Blaze Dingo, he does tons of damage and heals, so that's why people will put him in there, because it's like he fills both roles so well, and then you can just go for like a super aggressive comp. So it's like that's why people will do that instead of like the Cess. The Cess is honestly my weakest link in that team. But so then it's like that's what you want to have. So ideally, like Luna just makes it super easy. But you technically don't need Luna. This could also be Alexa. So she's actually a really, really good unit for this dragon, especially for main DPS, is Alexa. Because she has dots paired with like the bunch of hits and everything. She just does a really good job of doing what she needs to do. So she can actually be your main damage dealer if you don't have a Luna. If you have a Luna, use your Luna as your main DPS. If for defense break, to supplement your damage dealing, there is Terrier Guard, and I can't find them. I have him somewhere in here. There he is. So the Terrier Guard. So this is the other like consistent defense breaker that you can have instead of Karen, and then you can have a damage dealer. So that's really good, you know. If you're trying to do the Angelica though, like how I'm doing it, if you're trying to go for a very aggressive team comp where you're just trying to clear it fast as possible, super risky, but like a pretty consistent win rate. One, don't use Cess. Like, I hate to say it, but Cess just doesn't do the damage that you need him to do. Or give Cess really good equips. And we're going to see my equipments in a second. But have a bit, like 3 huge damage dealers. Karen can be Terrier Guard, or even Cess could have been a Terrier Guard, so you can get it more consistently. But at that point, it's like, you need to have an Angelica that can tank. And there is very specific requirements for Angelicas to be able to do what they do. So let's go to the equipment so we can see how mine is built and why I'm not quite there yet. It's my Karen that's actually carrying me enough that I can still auto it. So this is my Angelica. I've invested a little bit more than I should have. She's still not fully, like this is still not full defense, which I want it to be. So that will go up eventually. Sorry for the cut in my talk. I had to edit that. I ran out of storage, which doesn't really happen often. But you know, it is what it is. I'm gonna finish the video now. Okay, so let's go back to it. Equipment, I need to like, whoa, that was so sudden. So my Angelica, I've invested a lot in her, as I was saying. This is still not fully maxed, which will help a lot once it is. Like, there's a lot of few places, and you're like, okay, 15k defense, or not 15k, 1.5k defense, almost 15k HP. How am I failing in like 131 speed? It's like, how is she still dying so early? One is because the speed is not up to par, to the standards. I think it needs to be 140 speed for her to be able to cut in the dragon's turn and be able to heal reliably. The other thing is her HP is too low. Her HP actually needs to be like 16k in order for her not to die up until the point that the dragon goes. The defense right now is fine. It's a little bit above what it needs to be. But as y'all saw, it still doesn't make up for everything else. So for you guys to have an Angelica that can properly tank by herself and not die like mine did, you need to have either a secondary healer or have an Angelica that has over around 16k HP, 1.4k defense, and 140 speed. Now, you can give or take in some of the other stats, but that's your baseline, like what you need to be shooting for. Because if you don't, she's going to die just like mine did. If I make mine a little faster, she can cut a little bit better. If I made mine a little bit more tanky, more defense, she might be able to survive longer. If I made her more HP, she can heal for herself for more and survive longer. There's a lot of stuff that goes into it, but it's a very, very demanding equipment need. So this is 20% 8 health on the substat. This one's 17 on the substat. This one, I think it's like, this one's like the one I could improve, but it has the defense, so 22%. This is not fully maxed, so there's a little bit more room for improvement, and she's still not fully awakened. So once she's fully awakened, she will barely be able to do that. Like, she'll be barely able to. Also, when I fully like make this higher, then I'll also be doing more damage with my main damage dealer, with my Luna, giving her more turns, more opportunity to do even more damage. But that's like the baseline. That's how hard it is to just have an Angelica tank. If you are early game player right now and you already made an Angelica and you don't want to build her this tanky because it's so hard, you want to keep her speedy so she can keep immunity up for your team, then what you need to do at that point is you need to build a secondary healer or a primary tank. And honestly, I feel like that's a better way to go for people that already use Angelica in other places, is build a really big water tank. So like Crow, Basque, Crossit, like one of these guys, slap on that event artifact that reduces the damage that they take, and boom, easy Dragons B11 team. Slap on a damage dealer, a Terranor guard, and you're done. You can pretty much make this team even free to play if you put Guider, just regular Aether for your healer, and then like Basque. So it's something that's achievable and something you should shoot for early game. Now, I didn't have the luxury of knowing what the requirements would be, that you needed a lot of water units, so that's why it took me a lot longer to get to that point. So that's my Angelica. Still doesn't make the cut. She doesn't have the requirement, but the reason why I'm still able to clear it is because of my carrying. My carrying, guys, I've invested a little too much on her. She has some of my best equipments. She has the best artifact that I can still even push her limits by making Rihanna and Lucille be more reliable, giving her, like, buying it from the shop, like buying the artifact from the shop and giving it to this, so that I can actually push the level, push how many turns she can get, and get all the way to 20% turns. And y'all saw she took like 5 turns at one point, and that's just something that she does because of her second skill. And it's nuts. Like, what she can do is not okay. And that's why I love my Karen, and she's honestly one of the best Wyvern B10 11 units if you build her properly. So if y'all just want to see, it's like, I really have gone way out of my way, well out of my way to make her good. I even gave her effectiveness so she could consistently get that defense break on the boss. The health is the one thing I'm disappointed on. I really do wish that the health percentage was like crit damage, you know, because she has 0 crit damage, which is really sad. But that's the only thing I would change. Everything else is like really, really, really good. I love the effectiveness that she has. I love how much she lands her defense break. And I even like the speed on her. You know, I like being able to move fast. I like her taking more turns, especially to abuse Rihanna and Lucio. And she's the reason why I'm still able to clear this, even though I don't have the right Angelica, just because of her. My Luna over here, I also have her. She's pretty good. I don't think she's OP. People out there have better Lunas than I do. And she's also not fully like skilled up and like equipped. But it's still, you know, she still does her job pretty well. I do want to finish, not Awakening, but giving her enough of the Molagora to give her that extra attack and extra crit damage, crit rate. Yeah, crit rate. That extra crit rate so I can get 100% crit rate with Hell Cutter and everything like that. And just do a lot more with that. And even just getting Hell Cutter up so she gets more crit, more attack, does more damage more consistently, finish like scaling all of this stuff up. You know, even like if I get effectiveness, I'd be okay with that at this point because now I have a secondary defense breaker. And that's the thing about it. But she's decent. She does her job. She does a lot of damage. That's what I want her to do. And y'all saw how much damage she did. She's not crazy, but she does her job. And last but not least, my weakest link. But at the same time, you can see why. He's definitely my weakest link. So I did give him some good equipment, some of the Abyss equipment. Not the best, but not the worst either. The biggest thing that's holding him back right now is like the speed on this. Like if he had more speed, more crit damage, of course, more attack percentage would be nice. Like there's a lot I can still fix on him. He's not perfect, you know, better Dust Devil, like fully skilled up. I can still use him and I'll probably end up just going with him because I do need him to have more attack because I need him to be a consistent farmer. But once I do that, Wyvern's going to be super quick. It's going to be a 3-minute run. And it's going to be super easy. So for people out there that want to have an aggressive run, it is possible, but y'all have to have some insane Angelicas. Or even, you don't even, well, you kind of do. You need heals. So you have to have some insane Angelicas, guys. And that's all I have for you guys. I hope y'all enjoyed watching my Karen and just like my team. Like the fear I have every time I watch them. But I know in the future, like once I finish scaling everything up, it'll be fine. Right now I have bigger priorities putting my Challenger Dominule together because I definitely changed a lot of equipments on her. And she's not looking how I want her to. And she's not doing the damage I want. She's doing the damage, she just doesn't have the speed. And she doesn't have a lot of this scaled up. But I'm excited. And next video, or one of the videos coming up, will be about her once I finish all of this. And just how much I love her. But I hope y'all enjoyed the guide. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. If y'all need help, if y'all have units, like questions on like, hey, can I use this? Can I use that? Let me know down in the comments. I'll help you guys out. Thanks for sticking around, and I'll see y'all next time. Peace.